Cool.
Sure.
Oh boy.
All right, awesome.
Nice.
Hello. So, you're coming into. So we'll be doing a Wind Waker HD 90% run. Let's hope that doesn't happen again. With me, I have Nedijesh and
Hello.
the Fuzziness.
The Linkus7.
So yeah, this is going to be the 90% category. There's a trick coming up like a minute into the run, so I'm going to go over a few things first. You can already tell that. Wait, what was the donation bid war file name?
That was HEK18. HEK, all caps, and then 18.
Oh, 18, okay. But yeah, so the first thing you're going to notice is that the game is in Italian, and that is purely due to the fact that it's shorter than English. So it is the fastest version of the game to run on. And then you probably already seen in the chat there's going to be a couple of people saying pause already. So I'm going to get on starting this run, and then I'll start explaining it. But there's going to be some focus time for it because it's the hardest trick in the game. So is it this button? This red button, I guess?
Yeah, it should be this one.
All right. 3, 2, 1, boy.
Let's go.
Alright, so normally, just like if you watch any other Zelda, there's always an early game. For example, Majora's Mask has first cycle. And for Wind Waker, it was always go through Outset, go through the first mini dungeon for Second Fortress 1, you go to Windfall to buy a sail, and then you finally get to like the first main island. Now, we already knew that it was possible for a task, so a tool-assisted speedrun, to get away from Outside Island early, because in this game, if you stop swimming or if you turn around in the water, the game is going to add a tiny bit of negative speed so you go backwards to your value. And what we figured out was that if a task could flick an analog stick 30 times a second, then you will keep getting negative speed, because they kind of overlooked and forgot to cap negative speed, kind of like how backward long jumps work in Super Mario 64. So if you could do that frame perfectly 30 times a second for like 15-20 seconds, you can get enough speed actually to do a super swim away from the island. Now, for multiple years, we never thought this would be possible, and it's still not. You can't, as a human, do it that fast. However, we got the crazy idea of what if you do over 200 frame-perfect pauses instead, so you pause buffer it the entire time. The problem with that on Wind Waker is that if you pause one frame early, it's not like awkward enough time use watch to where you just pause during pause lag, so it doesn't actually progress a frame. It's actually going to eat the input, and you're going to lose a random amount of speed depending on how lucky you were. And if you're one frame late, then it's going to not lose you speed, but it's not going to gain you any, because then you'll gain speed, and then you're going to swim for a frame and lose the speed you had. So first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to jump off the tower and change my camera to inverted. And then this is pause for you. So I'm basically going to pause the game, and then I'm going to start holding my analog stick in the opposite direction. I'm going to unpause and then pause again. I'm going to try and do this frame perfectly about 200 times. So yeah, this is going to take like a minute or two, and I'm going to try and focus to get this fairly quickly.
So like you said, these are pretty much frame perfect inputs, and every time he gets a second frame, like I said, he doesn't lose any speed, but he wants to get the frame perfect one so he gains speed. And there's no buffering to this, it's all timing, so it takes a lot of practice.
Could you lower my game audio a bit? It's really flicking me off with the audio.
So ideally what you want to see is you want to see Link just not really travel very far when he turns. Like those were some really good pauses right there, for example. But if you see him suddenly just go quite far, that means he's going to lose a bit of speed. And when you lose speed, you lose a lot of speed.
I need to see what... I forgot to start a timer. Okay, 3:30. I use the timer as a cue for how much speed I have.
So when you can tell, when you're getting more speed, you start going further and further from the frame perfect pauses as well. Is a good cue.
Okay, right here I'm gonna do kind of a check to see. Okay, so I'm getting close.
Should be good. It's quite a while.
Yeah, it should be.
Come on.
I'm not risking that.
Yeah.
No?
It's too close.
Dang. That was like really close. We must
Yeah.
have been like a little bit off speed. I just want to say the thing about this trick is that you're gaining like 50 to 100 speed per frame perfect pause, but if you mess up a frame perfect pause, you can lose like 500 to 2000. So it's pretty brutal if you mess up.
Yeah. There's also a good way to see if you do like a frame perfect or a second frame with the repeat count.
Wait.
Looks good.
Oh,
There
Wait,
we
nice.
go.
okay, wait. Okay. So what I'm doing right here is I'm going into target camera when I have enough speed. So my point is to build up enough speed to where Link will turn past the camera in 1 frame or less. And when this happens, then what's going to happen is because I'm in targeting the game is going to try and put Link into the... Wait a second.
Docks.
Scary.
Nice.
Okay, so the game is going to try and put Link in camera, but because he has so much speed, he's turning past the camera in 1 frame or less. So what the game is going to do then is going to be like, oh, well, Link is off camera, so they're going to flip the camera again. And then it's going to continuously do that every frame. So it's going to do what I've been pause buffering, basically, but instead it's going to do it automatically, which is obviously way faster than trying to...
Also, he's going back to the
Pause every
corner here to get an air refill. It's like a really convenient spot. That makes it pretty much possible if that wasn't there. This trick probably wouldn't be RTA viable.
And there we go. We got it. All right.
Nice one.
Nice.
Much better than GDQ.
Redeemed yourself.
All right. All right, now I can relax. Okay.
Alright.
That's definitely the hardest trick in the game. And yeah, in a speedrun, like when you're home, you know, you're in your home setting, I'm going for record attempts. That actually pausing, like, part from me getting in the water to me being down pausing, so I start spinning. Actually, surprisingly, you can do that in about 1.5 minutes. So it's actually not bad. But obviously, like, at an event at a different place and everything, it's definitely not. And also, like, even at home, it's pretty reset heavy to attempt going for it in 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes of just pausing. But thankfully, it's, you know, the first trick of the run, so it's not too bad.
You nearly got in 2 minutes.
Yeah,
You're just like barely off.
that was definitely not that bad. Like, that would have been a really good one if we weren't unlucky that he started to spin there a bit. So I had to keep pausing a bit.
Yeah.
But that was overall really good.
Also, like, it's not just the like when he's doing that, he also needs to be careful not to hit a few things when he goes out. So if he hits like the ladder, for example, or the beach, he'll lose all his speed and has to start again.
Yeah, I can't hit anything. That's why I was really scared about the
Yeah.
docks. I need to also, while I'm doing all of that, I need to hold a perfect ESS positioning. If you don't know what ESS positioning is, it's basically right outside of Link's dead zone. Or the game's dead zone. If you're holding there, Link is going to basically be turning around instead of walking. Nice. And if he's in this state, he loses less speed. So I have to be sure to also hold a perfect ESS the entire time. And also, then when I finally get my air refill without hitting the beach, I also have needed to learn exactly where every, like, for example, like raft and platform is in the ocean. Because if I hit anything, I lose all of my speed. And I would have to redo it. So it's definitely a trick that takes a long time to learn.
Yes, speaking of what Link just said as well, he just mentioned there's no map. Because you don't follow the traditional route of the game, you actually don't get the map at all. And you pretty much have to learn where the islands are off by heart.
Yeah. Yeah, that was definitely actually, so coming from the old runs before this route, you always had the map. So basically, you always either had, if you play with a gamepad, I play with a Pro Controller, but if you play with a gamepad, you look down, and for me, I looked up at my table, right? So I had a gamepad laying in front of me, and you just looked at the map. So you didn't even look at the game in your Super Swimming. You kind of just learned where in the quadrants the islands were, and then you just looked at the map. But then when this route came out, for both any percent and all dungeons, you don't have a map. It's only for 100% because it's required. So it's actually very difficult, especially during, for example, there's events in the game where it's really rainy and cloudy, and you can barely see past like half a quadrant in the ocean. So you have to learn like exactly kind of like which angle to go from the island to find it. So
it's also frustrating because islands take time to load, even on the HD version, and
Yeah.
sometimes they don't load when you pass them, so you can't even see the island.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, so now we got to Dragon Roost. The first thing, as you could see, was that I kind of go up on the right side. So if you play this game casually, you probably explode all the rocks and like sidled across the gap. You can actually get up on a tiny rock where the entrance is, roll off of it, and get a jump out of it. It's very easy in the HD version because the rolls were basically like kind of broken on the SD version, and it doesn't always give you full speed. So because of the fact that they fixed that in HD, you still always get full speed rolls. Because of that, it makes that trick really easy. And then I do like a 2-second time saver by trying to jump around the second rock without exploding it. And after that, I just basically enter and go through some cutscenes right here. And the main goal of going here early is to actually get to Dragon Roost Cavern, because Dragon Roost Cavern has a very useful item called the grappling hook, and is not only necessary to get stuff like the leaf, for example, and going up to Ganon's tower, but it also is a very broken item in the HD version, so you can do a lot of glitches with that item as well. You're going to see that I'm going to have to go forward like that a bit here and there, and that is because since I use the Pro Controller, I need to swipe to equip with my gamepad, because I don't want to pause the game, because that's slower.
It's funny how you said the rolls are fixed in this version, but they're actually more broken because you can roll clip.
Yeah. Yeah, it basically was very convenient. So how it works in the original is, so if you're, for example, going up, like if you're standing still and you do a roll, you're actually just going to roll in place. And if you start walking and rolling, I think this is where Nintendo like kind of like why they fixed it is because even if you start walking and roll, you will still actually not get a lot of speed. You need to walk for like half a second to get a full walking speed and then roll to get a proper roll. And if you're going up any like degrees upwards, like up any sort of hill or anything, you're also just gonna roll in place.
Yeah.
So on this version, they made it so that even a dry roll, which basically means you're just like rolling without anything, will give you 20 units of speed. And to give you a reference, 26 is the max roll speed. So it's basically a slight difference from full speed to normal roll speed. And that's very useful, like Fuzzy said, because there's clips in the game you can do on, not specifically a lot in this category, there's a few, but there's a lot in like longer categories to where you can actually use the speed to your advantage by going out of bounds before the game can put you in a bounds.
It basically allows you to go full speed as soon as you climb, which allows you to make Link jump when he's not meant to after climbing through walls, basically. And that can be used in like all categories in this game. It's really, really useful in HD.
Yes. Right.
Do we have time for a couple of donations?
Of course, Thiefbot, go ahead.
We have a $10 donation by Mariko Akera saying, "Good luck with a Wind Waker run. Link is love."
Link is love.
There we have a $50 donation by Anonymous saying, "Good luck with the run, Link is. If anything goes sideways, blame Ned."
It's already starting.
Blame Fuzzy for a door clip.
For a door clip. The rest is for you now.
Yeah, okay.
We have a $101 donation by String Epsilon saying, "Good luck, Linkus."
Thank you.
First try door clip though.
Yeah.
TBH.
That would be hype.
The rerun of last year.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no, me and Thiefbug was joking about the donations earlier because he was like, I'm going to read donations during your pause. And I was like, please, no. Don't do that.
Also, we have a $50 donation by Matt Laldi saying,
Nice.
"Linkus, I know you were pretty bummed you didn't get to do this during your last event, so I will double this donation for your best Tingle impression."
Ooh.
Oh, no.
Get your cringe ready. Let's go.
All right.
Yo, Glim.
At least you didn't say beetle.
No, during the GDQ run, Spike was gonna try and do it, and he said tingle tingle, and I wanted to be like, it's ho yo.
Yeah.
So that's where that meme comes from. Alright, so something you're gonna notice is that I'm gonna actually go through this dungeon a bit differently. So obviously, as you can see, the only items I have right now is a delivery bag and a bottle doesn't deal, well, any damage at all, really. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna be very creative with the objects around this dungeon to get through it. So first I'm gonna pick up the pot and throw the enemy, and then I can pick up a stick and use that to get the small key. Right here, a rock is actually enough damage to break these as well, so I'm just gonna use that rock over there. Then when I get over here now, I'm simply just gonna go through the dungeon, keep picking up items throughout, and I'm also gonna pick up a couple of rupees. I need 10 of them for this route. If you watch my GDQ run, you're actually gonna see a different route in this one. So there is a incredibly new difficult route that was actually, like, I guess, thought of and actually implemented during the week I was gone for GDQ, so I couldn't do it for GDQ. And now I wasn't planning on doing this route for this one, but now when I was at ESA, they found another thing to make this route even better. So I actually learned it last night in the hotel room, so hopefully I don't mess it up. But yeah, so I did like an hour practice in a hotel room, so I was like, you know what, we'll do the route. So
It's kind of like a rerun of the old route, but with
Yeah.
manual super swim.
exactly.
Yeah.
The one I tried last ESA, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Never forget, dude.
And the strats weren't anywhere near as consistent as they are now. They're still hard, though.
It's still the manual super swim is of course very difficult to learn, but in a run when you're a runner, I would say the most reset heavy point in a run would probably still be door clip. More or less because it's the first trick of the run, the manual super swim.
Yeah.
And you know, if you do multiple attempts in a day, you kind of get used to being in the rhythm, since you need to hold a rhythm for that trick. So it's
So,
definitely the reset heavy point.
When we're talking about a manual super swim in the beginning, we're also mentioning speed values.
Yes.
And speed values are a huge thing in this game, because we're going to be doing a glitch later, which you'll see. But in general, you can't really tell exactly how much speed you have in this game when you're doing stuff. So it's kind of just by feel and reacting.
Yeah.
Like, even with the manual super swim, we thought we had enough speed, for example, but in that case, we didn't.
Yeah, it's so there are a couple of ways you can kind of tell. Like if you have a camera all the way zoomed out like I did, and I do a perfect ESA up, you can kind of see how far Link is moving down on the screen, but it's not accurate. It's depending on exactly the how well of an ESS you have, which you can't know, of course. And even then, sometimes it's for example, there we saw that it was gonna work, but it didn't. So it's all nice. It's all really strange.
The first use of the one frame roll.
Yes, so exactly. So I climb up actually inside of that ledge right there, and then the game is gonna push me off. However, if I roll on the very first frame, I'm gonna get enough speed to where the game is gonna push me off, but I got my speed for my roll. So I'm gonna get a jump off of a ledge you're normally never supposed to be able to stand on, and that's gonna allow me to skip hanging off of that ledge. You're also gonna see a lot of uses here. Optimizations where it's faster to actually jump to a ledge than grabbing a ledge by a couple of milliseconds. So you're gonna see in a Wind Waker HE, I can climb up on the side and then I roll off, and it just makes it a really quick animation.
It's used a lot.
Yeah, it's used a lot. It's definitely the movement in HD definitely allows you to add a lot of small optimizations, which is really cool.
Have you ever done a run where you open the chest by mistake as a randomizer?
No, actually not yet.
It'll happen one day.
It will happen. I have opened a chest and thought that's a bad item, and then I'm like, oh wait, it's not a randomizer. That's as far as it's gotten. Here, normally we used to use the sword. However, we're really lucky because this bird is really dumb, so you can just walk around him and hit it without actually having to slash him. So then you can just roll off. And yeah, yes, you can kind of see the same pattern in most of these rooms to where, you know, I'm sure as a casual, you know, you picked up and you played around with having a sword and the sticks, but you can probably tell that they're definitely not close to as good as actually using the sword because they're really clunky to use and stuff. And it's actually a challenge picking this rep out because actually getting, you know, optimal by using them. But over time, you can always get used to it. So, for example, in this room, it's going to be the same. I'm going to pick up actually this share right here. And then I'm going to throw it at this guy because he has a sword and it takes more damage than a stick. It does swing slower, but it does the same damage as a jump slash. So I'm gonna get that, and then I'm gonna try and group them up here. And this is a bit of an RNG depending on how they attack and how they walk. Like for example, right there, I couldn't get another double because he tried to go for a jump attack instead of a normal one. There we go.
It's kind of crazy how convenient this dungeon is in terms of giving you the weapons you need.
Yeah.
Because if they weren't there, this wouldn't be possible.
Yeah. And probably also helps that it's the first dungeon. Like if you look into the the beta of this game, they have a lot of files for like pickable items. So it was supposed to be a much bigger part. So they actually like drag down on it drastically for basically every dungeon. Like you can still do it for some minis, but it's definitely not a main part. Like for example, in this dungeon, it's required to pick up that sword to actually keep going, for example. Well, it's not in other dungeons. You're gonna see a small optimization here where I try and roll at the exact same time a bomb explodes, so I can just smash A to open the door right when it is open and done. And coming up here is the first mini boss. Do we have any donations you want to read? Because now is a good time.
Give me just a second, I'm sorry.
Ricky, please.
Damn it, Thief Bug. Come on, bro.
What a screw up. We have a $15 donation by Greasy saying, "Hey Linkus, it's always a pleasure to watch you run this awesome game, especially here at ESA. Let's go, dude." I doubled the donation if we can have a dude on stream.
Dude!
We have another $50 donation by Lukio. Luke. I can't. What the hell?
Just call him Luke.
Saying, "Go, Linkus, go."
Good
Oh
old
my
Twitch
God.
name. Feels bad, man. Can we get some Feels Bad Man in a shot from Thief Bug?
You guys not pick up the RNG pearl anymore?
No, not anymore. With this route, we don't. So the big thing about this route is basically that if you watch my HDQ and you'll remember, or SDQ, sorry, you'll remember that I said that you need to buy the sail to avoid a soft lock. We actually found a way around the soft lock, which makes it a lot more difficult. But thanks to that, we can not only skip having to go and rescue Tingle and buy the sail, but we also only need like 10, 20 rupees, depending on how safe you want to go. I'm
Is
getting
that for
20.
the minigame?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's for
Okay.
minigame.
That makes
So-
more sense.
Now I want to get the grappling hook. I'm actually done with this dungeon, so I'm just going to save and quit. And the game has a lot of precautions to try and avoid you from actually sequence breaking. So it's going to put me back at Outside Island because my spawn trigger is still here. And right here, I'm going to get into the main glitch of this game, which is item sliding. So if you have a first-person item, such as the grappling hook, you walk a direction on an analog stick. Like, for example, in this case, it's forward, right? And then I pause the game, and I hold ESA, so like slightly down in the opposite direction. Link is going to start walking two directions at once. And when this happens, he's going to start charging up negative speed, and it's going to basically triple your speed value each frame you're doing this. There it is.
These things are pretty hard to find.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm basically going to be tripling my speed every single frame. And there's no visual cue or audio for you, so it's literally just like grinding to get a feeling for like when to do it. And then when I think I have enough speed, I tap target to get out of it without like canceling out of it. And in that case, for example, I first use it for movement for the overworld. And then after that, I simply just enter the water. And you're not going to see that I'm in Forsaken Fortress 1, which might seem really weird and strange. So how this works is that the moblins with the lantern in this game, they all are actually the same, even the guards in Forsaken Fortress 1. And to save memory, instead of making a guard enemy, what Nintendo did is that they made it so that it checks if Link has a sword in his inventory. Because the only instance where Link will not have a sword and interact with his enemy is at Forsaken Fortress 1. So because I skipped it, I'm going to go to that submarine. They're going to notice I don't have a sword, and it's going to throw me into jail and basically, I guess, like wrong warp me to Forsaken Fortress 1. And when I'm here now, I'm first going to pick up this Gossip Stone, which is, we're going to get to that later, but it is important. And then when I pick this up now, I'm just going to go and actually try and beat Forsaken Fortress 1. And not only is beating it important to fix my spawn trigger, but on top of that, the game always puts the sword in the end of Forsaken Fortress 1, even if you watch the cutscene or not. So it's going to be up there now, so it's going to allow me to also get a sword.
But luckily we have this, so it's really easy to get.
Yeah, it's really easy for movement. And it's definitely one of the instances where I actually really enjoy Wind Waker HD compared to Zelda games, because it adds another movement perspective to it, to where you can add all of these small like item slides that save, you know, like half a second everywhere.
I
Kinda-
think it's cool that you do the early part of the game using an item that you couldn't normally even be here with.
Yeah,
I think that's
exactly.
really awesome.
Right there, you might be wondering how I got all the way over here. When I'm styling this wall, I can try and show with the camera, but I was like all the way over there where like that flag is. That was what I was aiming for right there. What happened there is that I charge up speed with a specific angle, and I tap target. And the thing about target is normally Link kind of like swings to the left for like a tiny bit. However, because I have so much speed built up, it's gonna put all of my speed to the left in one instance, like right there. So what that's gonna allow me to do is basically jump all the way across FF1, and I'm gonna do that for that gap too, so I don't need to get the spotlight. Right here, you can see that he's not even trying to attack me; he's just standing idle. And that's because I grappled him before you interact with him, and he's normally waiting to be interacted via cutscene. But if you interact with him first with actually grappling him, it's going to completely skip the cutscene, and he's also going to be very easy to fight because he's going to stand there idle.
I just want to say generally about this game, if you do try this game or even try to understand what's going on with the item slide stuff, it all just comes down to getting used to controlling the item slides. And
Yes.
you'd think, oh, I can just super swim anywhere as well. That's one of the perceptions that people get when they first watch this game. But there's also another strict rule about this game is when you item slide, you can't really go down, like you can't jump off an edge. You have to slowly go down a slope in order to keep your speed.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you fall, falling has a set speed animation of 0, you fall. So that's going to set your speed to 0 and 1. That's why I can't press A, because that has a set speed. If I jump, that has a set speed. So you cannot do a single animation with your when you're item sliding where it actually is going to care about what speed you have. So that's why it's very limited. And for example, on the old route, there's like an island we never thought we could super swim off at first, which was Great Fish Island, because the beach ends. So we cooked up this crazy thing to where there's like a raft, like a little tree platform going up and down in the water, and to like read the water cycle, go in the corner, and then like right as it goes down when the water goes up, you have to like on that very instant slightly go down super slowly and just make it so that the game doesn't consider you to have too big of a difference in the height.
Yep.
And it's just like crazy precise.
Yeah, there's some things like that that's just like barely possible. And you're going to see Linkus, when he does his item slide in this run, he'll be doing them against the wall a lot.
Yes.
And the reason he'll be doing that is so he can hug the wall with the speed and then slowly go into the water.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why you're going to see it just exactly like that.
We have a $20 donation by No Rose, No Sky. Stayed up all night to watch your run. Pause all the way to the finish, Linkus. You rock.
Thank you. I will.
Do you have another donation?
I have plenty.
Can you
Laptop?
get my
Yeah,
laptop
okay,
out of
sure.
the way? Yeah.
Go for it.
All right. We have a $20 donation by Genesis. Yo, Linkus, now that you got the manual Super Swim, I allow myself to throw in a little donation. All the tricks we're about to witness are quite something.
Just keep
Everyone
this.
who owns this game should at least try item sliding. It's not that hard to learn, even I can do it. If you haven't watched a run of the any percent category of this game, you're in for a treat. Have a great event, everyone who's attending. Sadly, I couldn't attend the event myself, but I will do so in the future for sure.
It's awesome. Thank you. Yeah, you're definitely going to be in for a treat. This is definitely a crazy run. And that now is definitely a great time for donations because there's going to be a lot coming up soon.
All right, we have a $25 donation by Anonymous saying, "Shut up and take my rupees." A classic.
Linkus Creed.
A $20 donation by Keaton Fuchs. Hey Linkus, I'm glad I can catch another one of your marathon streams and support European speedrunning as well as a good cause at the same time. Enjoying Pasa, I can't pronounce that. Enjoying Pasa as always, but please no heart attacks or excessive morph abuse this time. If the new route fails, we'll blame Nat as usual.
Oh my.
Also, we saw
blaming.
those SM64 tricky triangles. Best of luck and Link is love.
I blame the controller, the tricky triangles, okay?
Didn't I give you that star?
It was N64.
I chose that star for you,
You did
right?
do that.
Yeah.
I was actually hoping for Swing because it looks more impressive. Because I actually know that one well.
That's what the sign-up was for, man.
Yeah, but okay, so what I do right here is that I basically super swim away from Windfall and I'm going to go into Beetle ship right here. So this is going to be a bit weird what I'm doing. So first I'm going to enter Beetle, and the reasoning for enter Beetle is that it's going to set so that my last island I was at was actually Dragon Roost. Now after this, I'm going to go up here, I'm going to do an item slide against this wall, I'm going to super swim, and I'm actually going to have too little speed, so I'm going to go back to try it again. So the goal of doing this is that I'm going to try and get enough speed to where I can just swim, and I'm actually going to swim outside of the ocean, and that might sound a bit weird, but the reasoning, I can pause to see, I'm going to keep swimming here to go outside, because if you're about 1 quadrant outside of where the game boundaries end, the game is just going to void you out, and that's going to spawn me in King of Red Lions. And this is only because of the fact that, like I said earlier, we spawn on outside island due to spawn triggers, and there's 3 flags for early game to determine, so that you fix the spawn trigger to be normal, so you spawn on the island you're supposed to. It's beat Forsaken Fortress 1, and then it's be in King of Red Lions. So now when I've fixed all of that, I can now actually be more free with how I can save warp, for example. So after I do that, I'm then going to save and quit, and then super swim to this mini game right here. Now, this is coming up as an island hop, so I'm actually going to have to take off my headset quickly here to use a metronome for it. So basically how this works is I'm going to try and get exactly the frame perfect amount of speed to where I'm on this specific mini game right here, and I'm going to jump in 1 frame from this mini game to Dragon Roost, and I cannot reload the ocean at all. And because there's no visual cue or audio cue, I have to use a metronome, so...
Yeah, I got you. This is kind of my fault as well. These were in the run. I was like, we should use metronomes, guys. God. So this is pretty much frame perfect.
Yeah, it's just super precise.
It's a 30 FPS game. That looks very good. Nice.
Yeah, nice.
Sweet.
Nice. Awesome. Nice.
And it happened so fast, right? Crazy.
Awesome.
Is this world record pace?
Maybe with... I don't know about that. I could go... I wouldn't go for Decatry cutscene skip, but yeah.
This is going to be risky.
It'd be too risky. All right, awesome. So you can hear that the music is a bit messed up right now, and you might be wondering, why did you do that? You were just at Dragon Roost. Well, the reasoning for doing all of this right here is for the fact that the game, to save memory, has, instead of, for example, loading a different ocean with just that mini game, this game does something where it changes the layer of the game. I'm actually going to try and find an island I can stop at right here. I have not a good amount of speed. This is
you're
a bit
okay.
scary. I'm just going to stop at this here to be safe.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to do the island hop again.
Yeah.
Dude, turn.
Turn around.
Target? Oh no.
Okay. Okay.
These
So-
islands aren't very fun though.
Yeah, anyway, so about layers. So to save memory, the game has layers. Now, there's this mini game layer then that the game has specifically for...
Yeah, it's a bad speed.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
No.
This.
Wait. I can back this up. I can
Okay,
back
do
this
it. Yeah,
up.
do it.
I
Do
need
I
to
can
it.
back
swim?
it up.
Do it.
Yeah.
I can back this up.
Wait.
Alright.
Get your
Wait.
pulse already in the chat, guys.
But yeah, so because of how layers work, basically a layer will be changed if you enter a loading zone or void out or anything. And if you beat the game normally, it's going to change the game layer. Now, if I then island up in 1 frame away from Dragon Roost, and then I don't void out or change anything, the game is going to stay on this layer. And what that's going to allow me to do is that it's going to allow me to basically go to Outside Island. And Outside Island actually is on this layer once during the game, but it is for a completely different reason than from what I want. So it should be enough.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
Yeah, it's enough.
Yeah,
it's
it's
enough.
fine.
Yeah. So the reasoning why I want it is because this is actually after you rescue Tetra from the forest at the first time, which means that the pirate ship is actually going to be at Outside Island. So
That's
let's see
plenty
if
of
this
speed.
is enough.
That's plenty
Much
of
better.
Yeah.
There we go. All right.
So,
So now you can see that the Oi! So now you're gonna see that the pirate ship is right here. Now I can't get up. However, because I have item sliding, I can item slide into this corner and then do a. I was gonna go safe. And then I can do basically a slash with my sword. And if I do that, then I can actually make it all the way there. I'm just going extra safe so we don't lose the layer. There we go.
yeah. So I just want to say 2 things that just happened there as well. You might have noticed that Linkus went back and forth to the island. Because if you load an island too fast in this game, you can actually just sploosh and lose all your speed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then another thing that happened there as well, that I did want to mention as well, was if you have too much speed and you completely miss where you're aiming, you will crash the game.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, you can maybe notice that even though I entered the pirate ship now at Outside Island, you might be like, what? Why is this bombs? If you know this game well, you might know this for the bomb section of the first one. So you remember that I picked up the Gossip Stone in Forsaken Fortress 1. So for the game, normally when you get the spoils bag, you will go through the barrel cutscene, the famous you know, cutscene that everyone memes about. And then after that, you're going to get to FF1, and then you always pick up the Gossip Stone. So what they made it is that they made it so the trigger for telling the game that you completed the first pirate ship, and it should make it pirate ship 2, because the exteriors are always the same. It's only the interior that changes. Is if the players picked up the Gossip Stone, then it's going to have bombs, and it's going to be the second pirate ship version. So thanks to that, if I pick it up, even though I never got spoils bag, I can actually go here now and get bombs.
First try rope game.
Yeah, first try rope game. Clap it, dude.
Nice.
Harder than SD.
Yeah. I feel like I can still troll you in HD though. Alright, so now when I have bombs right here, I'm going to just go through this text and I'm going to save and quit. I have a little bit of time if you have like 1 or 2 donations.
Sure. We have a $20 donation by Shadowfied saying, good luck, Linkus. We have a $50 donation by MadLolD. Alright, again? Oh yeah, well, that makes sense. Well done, Linkus, and best of luck with the run. You are a fantastic streamer with a terrific community. By the way, viewers, I'm not sure if you heard, but Linkus has a terrific community. Come on by.
Hashtag sellout, dude.
Something out for you is the best.
Yeah, alright. So after a save and quit right there in the pirate ship, the game is going to put me at Windfall Island because that's only normally where you can get to the pirate ship that has bombs. And then after that, I'm going to be very careful to be very far down here because the upper part of that actually has a cutscene for showing off Windfall for the first time. So after I do that, I'm then going to super swim, and I'm going to get to Thorn Ferry. And this is actually like definitely a run killer on record pace because even though every attempt only takes like 15-20 seconds, you have to get this within a couple of tries.
This trick is pretty silly because you need perfect speed, perfect
Exactly.
height.
So if you would just charge speed against the wall here, it would not actually clip you through. However, if you go from under here, if you have exactly...
Nice.
Nice. All right.
Quick.
So if you have the exact amount of speed, because of the height difference, the game can actually clip you through. The problem is, if you have too little, then you will go up and you won't clip at all. And if you have too much, then you're going to pop through the island and land on the other side. So you need the exact amount of speed to where you have just enough to clip, but it happens to be that the next frame after you clip, you're considered falling, because falling will cancel your speed to 0, and you will land in the loading zone instead of on the other side like I did the first time.
There's like 2 position setups that will pretty much give you around the same speed. They work most of the time, but it's still, you need to hold the perfect ESS.
Exactly. Even if you use a setup, because ESS is not, it can work with like 20 different values almost. You can get an angle to where it will work, but it can work, but it will be slower, and then the speed will be off with your setup.
Also, another thing you just did there was because you had so much speed, you just clipped right for those vines.
Yeah. And you might be wondering why I even came here to get a quiver upgrade because I don't have a bow. And that's going to come into use later. So just keep in mind for later that we already got a quiver. And then after I do that, I charge up speed against this pillar. And you're going to see that I'm going to use bombs now. And that's just because, like I said earlier, when you tap target, you fling to the left. So it's easier to time how much speed you have by taking out a bomb instead.
You don't lose any speed if you take out a bomb.
Exactly.
But if you press the triggers, Link will get shot off to the left or right, depending on what item you're using.
Yeah.
And that loses a tiny bit of speed. And it's hard to control.
Yeah. I'm also going to have to be very careful because of this route, how it works. I can never get close to King of Red Lions because if I ever do that, then the game's going to soft lock because he's going to loop telling me to guide the sail. And right there, I'm doing a clip. So I charge up speed against a specific part of the wall. And then when I get a decent amount of speed, I'm actually going to switch from ESS to holding all the way up an analog stick. And what's going to happen is the game is going to get to the amount of speed to where it can clip me through the wall. But because I'm holding forward, instead of just clipping me and ending me up on like a quarter inch away, it's going to actually perform a jump. And since jump has a set amount of speed, I'm going to fall under Forest Haven, sorry. And if you're in a water base and there's water over you, Link is always going to be put up to the higher water source. So because of that, it's going to put me up in the higher water, and that's where the loading zone is. So it simply is going to trigger the loading zone, and then I can come in here.
Also, I don't know if if you noticed, but there are those 5 little digits at the bottom of the stream which say that we just passed $66,000 a
Nice.
couple of minutes ago.
Nice.
Well, so we got time for some quick donations as well.
Yeah, this is another one of the cutscenes, so you have some time, Thief Bug.
Keep going,
Just-
man.
You just don't mess up the names this time.
I
it's
never
more
mess up
fun.
the names. Except every time.
We all do, don't worry.
We have a $50 donation by Escalator. Good luck
Oh.
with CouchNet. Say hello to Fuzzy for me and go Linkus.
Hi, Linkus.
That's my dad.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. His dad's
Yeah.
a homie.
And we have another $15 donation by Greasy without a comment. I think he just forgot it.
Oh no.
Oh no.
People sad.
Poor donation.
I think you can just donate again.
Selling out for the charity.
For charity, dude. It's fine.
There is actually one way to skip this cutscene, and you will see, like, if I'm doing speedruns of world record attempts, and I, for example, mess up the Thorn Fairy clip, so I lose a bit of time, you can see us going for it. So the problem with this is the cutscene skip here is frame perfect, and so far we have not found a good consistent cue for it. So the current setup I use requires 3 frame perfect inputs. And you have to get all 3 of them, and if you're off by 1 on either one of them, then you're gonna either A, die, which will kill your run, or B, if you did it too late, then you will lose like 20 seconds. And if you get it perfectly, it will say 50 seconds.
Can you not home buffer?
No, because like the amount of like the cues.
Yeah. I just want to mention, like, I forgot to say that as well. You can also home buffer in this game. And if you press the home button, it will come out in 1 frame. But you
Yeah.
can't really use pause and home at the same time.
Yeah. Plus, I'm on pro controller, so it doesn't actually work.
Yeah. And the reason why he's not using home buffers generally, like for this manual super swim, obviously it's slow, really slow. But you can't buffer a home buffer. You can't press
Yeah,
home twice,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, you would have to. I mean, you could maybe buffer in an unpause, but that would, like, instead of taking 2 minutes, it would take probably 15-20 minutes if you do that for all of those 200, because it takes like 3 seconds each time, while a pause takes like a fraction of a second.
But if you're new to this game, like home buffers are a really good way to do like stabs with
should I do it?
item slides. Do it, man.
Yeah, of course.
Let's
of
go.
course. Let's go. Perfect timing.
That is good. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy.
Easy.
I wasn't even scared.
It was.
Easy every
Yeah.
time, dude.
You were in the cycle anyway, so it was fine.
Yeah.
All right, so now after we got the leaf, we actually have every single item we need in the game to beat it, basically. So we have the leaf and magic, because it's basically a bonus because we need magic too. We have bombs, and we have an item we can item slide with, and we have the quiver for later. So now is coming up the hardest part of the route, and probably what could loses a bit of time right here. So first, this is going to be a very difficult super swim, because I first need to move Beetle. Oh.
Oh.
Ooh, that's good.
Very nice.
Wait.
That's clean.
So you have to move Beetle so that the difference in between his barrel and the water is not too big. And then I need to time an ESS change from going from down to down right. And then after I do that, I can then super swim to Forsaken Fortress. And after I do that, I'm then going to do an item slide in here to clip. Now, just in case, I'm actually going to do as well here a safety save because it's a marathon. And you can do that by, if you go inside of Forsaken Fortress and then you save, you're going to set your spawn trigger to here. So I'm going to do that right here.
So coming up is so normally when you come here, this is Forsaken Fortress 2, about halfway through the game, and there's a cutscene where you need to defeat a boss to get a hammer. Phantom Cannon, I believe his name, right?
Yes.
And then the problem with that cutscene is it extends across the world, and you need to pretty much bypass it using
Exactly.
Yeah.
an item slide. But the problem with that is the wall is pretty picky, and you need the right amount of speed. And you probably might have seen the run last year. It was it wasn't fun for me.
Yeah. So right here, first I do item slides to get through this without having the skull hammer. And now, if you watch my stream, you might have never seen this. So this was what was found that I practiced in the tournament last night. That was found like a couple of days ago. So this is a new way to skip Phantom Ganon, because Phantom Ganon was both hard and luck based. So I'm gonna try and do a precise item slide right on this ledge right here, and I'm gonna try and jump up on this kind of like glitchy collision here. Then I'm going to turn around, and I'm going to do another item slide. I'm going to jump up with my sword, and then I'm going to leaf to get around here.
Should be good, yeah.
and then I'm gonna slash my sword, and I'm on this ledge.
That's awesome.
And that skips entirely Phantom Ganon skip.
I've never seen that trick to that.
After that, I grab this ledge, I slash a bomb, and now this is the hardest trick in the game. You can probably explain it because I need to focus.
All right, so this trick is really, really precise. You need an exact amount of speed. Once I think it's like 46,000 or something, or 36,000. I can't remember. But basically, as you pause, the speed decrements. It slowly goes down, and as soon as it hits this exact amount of speed, Link just clips through the wall. And on that exact frame you clip for the wall, you have 2 frames to input certain things. And you need to know exactly what frame you get, firstly, if you jump slash or if you side hop. But again, like, you can't tell how much speed you have. So we do a setup that gives us a...
It's too little. Okay.
Yeah, we do a setup that gives us a reasonable amount of speed around the range. And then you pause buffer until you see Link clip the wall. And what was changed about the setup since I last did it was before he actually does the item slide, he does a specific kind of side hop that releases target that keeps an angle before doing it. And oh no! Did you save?
Yeah, he saved.
I did
Yeah,
save.
he saved.
I don't even know what happened there. I must have lost it when I slashed my sword, my angle there. So I had a different angle. Anyways, we saved. It's fine.
So I was saying the difference.
Now we're lucky we saved.
Saved.
The difference between the setup this year and last year was, and this was found about 2-3 months ago, I'd say.
The side hop thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was found like during GDQ.
Yeah.
So, GDQ.
So what's different about that one specific side hop is it gives you an exact 90-degree angle. Is it right? Yeah. 90
Yes.
And the difference between that is this strap requires you to have a perfect angle on your controller. Well, not perfect, but maybe like within 3 degrees.
Yeah.
And last year I had to do it without any notches in my controller. And
Yeah.
that's why I kept failing it over and over. It was
Yeah.
mega fun. But now it's 100%
Yeah.
consistent as long as you get the frame.
Well, yeah, exactly. So there's 3 parts to it that makes it really bad. So like Fuzzy said, so the angle was awful because there's no notch and you need to hold a perfect left. Second of all, when I actually slashed that bomb to get that set up, you might think like, oh, that's a really smart way to do it. The problem is, that it's not actually consistent because Link actually shuffles by a couple of pixels when he's standing and holding a bomb, which means that it can change from if you have 1 frame, 2 frames, or 3 frames to input the jump slash, which is basically luck-based because we can't know that. So you can actually be lucky and have 3 frames to do the jump slash, and then sometimes you're unlucky and you get only 2 or 1. So that's pretty bad. And then, of course, with the speed, I turn pause buffer to kind of know how much speed I have. But if I have too little speed, I can't tell it. However, if I have like 10,000 over and I would have to pause for minutes, there is not a single visual difference.
Also, if you're wondering why he like climbed that ledge randomly and dropped the bomb and slashed it, that actually gives you the perfect angle for this trick. It's such a weird setup. And there was like so many of us in the community just trying random things to try to find an angle setup for it. And apparently that's the one. You just like climb an edge and drop a bomb and slash it.
So yeah, since I have no idea how much speed I actually have, I kind of just have to pause right here and hope that I see the Link clips and have to then try and do a frame-perfect jump slash. So if there is any donations, you could read it now, actually, because this might take a bit of time.
All right. We have a $5 donation by Polyglot Fairy. Good luck with the rest of your luck, Linkus. Link is love. I did not misread that.
Okay.
And we have a $40 donation by Anonymous saying, blame Ned, love, mom.
Is that your mom?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. No.
So yeah, this is pretty much frame perfect, well, 2-frame trick, I'd say.
Yeah.
But because of the speed, it's something you can't really do consistent. It's more just like experiencing pause buffering and doing the setup correctly for the right amount of speed.
Just hoping for the best. If it takes a bit of time, I'm gonna switch to gamepad. Even though I'm not as used to it, it'll be easier for the viewers because it's a very bright flash. I definitely know that when it comes to the Pro controller. So if this is not the correct amount of speed in a bit, I'm gonna change to gamepad so you can.
Damn! 1 frame late.
God damn it.
I think that was 3rd frame, but
Yeah.
we got an angle that happened to just be a 2-framer.
Yeah.
That's how basically if I either A did a jump slash a frame earlier there, or if we were lucky there, I would have made it with the jump slash to actually clip back and through the floor to up and to enter the loading zone.
I feel your pain, Linkus.
Yeah.
This was me last year, just crying.
Yeah, this is definitely why like it's not an actual like. It makes it better because I can skip one of the hard tricks, which is this place right here now, but it's definitely still an incredibly like close to task only trick that is really not marathon friendly, but because it was just discovered, I thought it would be cool to do it, and I feel pretty confident we
You'll
can
get
get
it,
it within
dude.
a
Yeah,
couple of
you'll get it.
attempts.
It's way better than it was like last year. That's fine.
Yeah.
Can we get some hype in the chat? Let's go.
Hype in the chat. All right,
get going.
I'll save everyone in the chat and change to the gamepad.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to turn off gyro though, so I don't mess up my angle. All right, now you can enjoy the pause attack. So now you can spam Linkus pausa.
How much
and,
faster is this route? Like a 2
it
minutes?
saves like a minute and a half.
Yeah.
And if you do cutscene skip, it would save 2.5.
Jeez. Sub 1.
Also, if anyone wonders why we're just not fighting Phantom Ganon at all and like, you know, avoiding all the hard tricks, it's because without the Master Sword, we can't even damage Phantom Ganon itself. So it would be completely useless to just fight and get the hammer, you know. So
It's actually technically possible to do this with him there.
yeah.
But the game lags so badly, number
And
one.
he can hit you.
And he can hit you, and you target him while doing the trick.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it's not possible.
Yeah.
It's too stupid. And if you activate the trigger, he teleports you all the way back to the door on the lower floor.
So yeah, all I'm pausing for right now is to see Link go under the ground. Do you maybe want to explain how the game has changed, Fuzzy, since you picked it up? while we're
Alright,
trying to do
so
this?
you want some history on this game? A long time ago, this game was pretty much glitchless for the most part for a long time. Just like SD without... well, firstly, let me do this stuff from the beginning. So this game, when it first came out, did not have storage, which is a huge trick in SD. And because of that, the route was pretty much mostly glitchless, apart from a few things. And that was... World record was by Gymnast for a long time. And then Item Slider was found at one point, which was the crazy thing on the grapple hook and all the first-person items, which allows you to like do so many clips and super swims everywhere. So the game changed a ton, and at a point, it was Razin and Linkus who picked up the game. And there was a bit of competition going on, which was really cool. And then I think Gymnast was the only one doing the Great Fish Super Swim, I believe, at that point. As well.
No, I was the first one to implement Great Fish
You were the
Super
first
Swim.
one? Alright, my bad. Getting history wrong here. So, that thing you mentioned earlier, the really precise Super Swim was introduced. That saved a lot of time in the categories. And then I came along, I said this game needs optimizing, so I put a lot of time into testing things, which was really fun. So I got the world record for a bit. And that's, it was about half a year, and then it happened, the barrier skip phrase, where a lot of people were just there was a big bunch of people on Discord just testing barrier skip, Mathgale, Giotana, I can't remember all the names, I apologize if I missed people out, but some notable people. And eventually a setup was found. Apparently it was really easy, which is the humor part of it. And then the whole game changed because of that. Pretty much because you can skip everything apart from the required items to do trial skip and kill the final Papa Ganon fight. And then after that, Manual Super Swim was added, and this is pretty much what's come of it. It's a very different game to a year ago.
Okay. If I want to use a gamepad, I'm going to have to do this because the pausing is so...
You can do Linkus. This is a really tough trick, just because you can't tell your speed value.
Happy Life defeated $15 saying,
just gonna do
can
Pro
we
Controller."
please get Pasa shirts?
I can drop some sick merch, don't worry. Alright, I'm gonna go back to Pro Controller because we got it twice in a row really quickly. Gamepad is easier for like pause up, but it's so different because I never used the controller, so I'm just gonna do what I'm used to.
Alright, come on.
What's the timer on, by the way?
54 minutes.
You're doing fine.
54? Okay.
Yeah.
You'll beat estimate if you get it. Like, you'll do it.
We'll do it.
Yeah, you'll do it. You'll do it.
As long as you're not stuck for 40 minutes and pull a fuzzy.
Shut up, man. I just want to say this is my fault. This is in the run.
Yeah.
Because I was the one proving it was RTA viable. Why'd I do that?
Oh,
Oh.
nah.
There we
oh,
go.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
But
There we go.
In that case, we don't blame Fuzzy because it works. It saves so much time, except when you fail.
Alright, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely like unfortunate because you can just imagine like having to get this with like only being able to like you have to get the exact amount of speed and you can maybe try max twice. And in a record pace run, you're also nervous on top of that. Getting this is like incredibly difficult. It's definitely the hardest. Like I would actually say it's up there probably some of the hardest Zelda speedruns out there now because of like the manual super swim and like the door clip and everything. It's definitely like one of the hardest Zelda speedruns now out there, and it's definitely crazy and it's definitely something where I can get tiring of grinding. But now with the Phantom Ganon skip, because that was a huge part. I'm definitely excited to go back to grinding this category. Even the door clip is a bit rough because the problem with Phantom Ganon skip is that it's a very precise angle, and even if you get the exact same angle for it on the old setup, you could get an uneven frame to where even if you got the exact same angle and speed every time, it could just sometimes not work because you went around the corner on a incorrect frame and then you hit the cutscene. So it was basically incredibly precise, and it was partially luck. But now with the new one, it's not only easier and faster, but it's also like no luck at all.
Blame me again.
Yeah.
Found these setups are just not consistent.
Yeah.
It's hard to find setups in the game like this. Like for example, the door clip. The only reason that works is because like you have an exact speed, exact angle that for some reason pushes you through the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And before that was a task-only trick where you'd have to literally just teleport across the whole map. If you watch like there's like a theory task YouTube video of it.
Yes.
And it's ridiculous.
You're also going to see something funny here where your sister is just going to kind of float up. And this is because we never actually activated the pirates on Outside Island. So the pirate is carrying your Link's sister, but because he's not spawned into the game, he's invisible. But the cutscene still plays out like normal. So Tetra talks to an invisible boy, and she kind of floats out.
And also the Master Sword appears out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Which is great. Actually, no, you have a wooden sword in this cutscene, right?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. My bad.
Uh,
She's like,
yeah,
nice, nice sword, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the next cutscene.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great. My bad.
Yeah, so coming up here is Helmrock. Now, Helmrock is probably the most skippable boss in any Zelda game. Even in glitchless, we skip Helmrock because there's even a glitchless way that doesn't require glitches to skip this boss because it's just not the best design of this. So first I'm doing an item slide up. So number one, you can see that I have health under 1.5 heart, which means that when I climb up this ledge, I'm just going to pop through. Then after that, I'm going to crawl to get under the railing, and then I'm going to line myself up and do a straight jump on the railing. Then I'm going to slowly walk around in first person, and after I do that, I can then simply just jump up here and jump in a bounce, and that's Helmrock.
Fun fact, this used to be a run killer in the old version back in the days, and now it's like the easiest thing ever.
Yeah. There's so many ways, like there's even in this version, there's a way you can do with the glitch called the zombie hover. There is like 3 different places you can clip out of bounds to do it. There's a glitchless way to jump over the spikes. It's just very
zombie hover into
broken.
loading zone.
Yeah,
in the original
exactly.
game. There's just so many ridiculous setups.
There's so many ways to skip this boss. So.
That's cool though.
Yeah, exactly. Sadly, well, it's partially good because that is actually the most RNG-based boss. If you have ever watched me speedrun 100%, because you need to beat it for the heart piece, sadly, it can lose you a minute to 2 minutes, even 3 minutes, because it's completely RNG. If he wants to go down on the ground and peck you, so you can attack him. If he wants to fly around and do charge attacks. If he wants to land and either do dances or blow wind at you. So because there's 4 different movesets and only one works. There's a high chance you're going to lose a lot of time. And you can also see right now that I got my Master Sword, I got a shield, and I got a tunic. The tunic won't actually stay. We'll still get to enjoy those comfy pajamas. However, we're actually going to be able to keep the sword and the shield because the game is actually not, like, this is not pre-recorded cutscenes. It's actually being played out. So how these cutscenes work is even if you have the right equipment, it tells the game, put this item value on your B and R buttons. So basically, they just put the Master Sword in these buttons. Doesn't care to check if you have them. Which means that then we're done with this cutscene, we're just going to keep them. And obviously in original gameplay, it doesn't matter that they made it that way because it would just replace your Master Sword with an identical Master Sword. But in this instance, it's really convenient because not only do we not have the Master Sword, it is required to get the Master Sword to defeat Phantom Ganon. And Phantom Ganon is required for light arrows. So the entire reason this route works is thanks to how the cutscenes work right here to give it to us. Otherwise, we would have to actually defeat 3 dungeons and make the catter like an hour longer.
It's strange how this game requires you to actually have the sword upgrades to defeat the game, but the game just gives you it during a cutscene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like during randomizers, you have to find them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I didn't know that until I did randomizer.
Yeah.
Oh, you actually need this to hit the boss.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Do we have any donations, by the way? Because if so, it's a great time now.
Yep. We have a $60 donation by 60. Doors skip hype. Good luck on the rest of the run, Linkus, and when in doubt, blame Ned.
I'm getting bullied. I'm getting bullied.
It's fine, dude.
Oh, yes, you are. We have a $10 donation by Walmart Cart Crew. Just wanted to say thank you for doing such a great job with the charity. Love all these speedruns, and now I get to see one of my favorite games ever played. P.S. Zelda is not a boy, and I think you're pretty wrong about that one.
Boy.
Do you have any more donations?
We have a $5 donation by Barbara. I forgot to put my name on my $15 donation. Hopefully this one gets read though. I wasn't able to join you on ESA this year because I'm saving, but I'll still donate for a good cause.
It's awesome. But yeah, so coming up now is Hyrule, and if you have either watched a run in the past probably year, or if you watched SGDQ run this year, which was kind of the big, I guess, reveal for a lot of people that doesn't actually keep track of Wind Waker. The reasoning why this run went from 4 hours to simply an hour is simply due to the fact that ever since this game was released, everyone was looking for barrier skip. And the reasoning why barrier skip would have such a big impact is because you have access, even without glitches, in this area, only like a third way through the game. However, this barrier is incredibly difficult to skip, and they definitely thought of every single way to avoid us from skipping it, from putting knockback barriers that instantly knock you back, to invisible walls, yeah, to multiple layers, to it extending super high upwards and downwards. However, we finally found a way around this. So the first step to this is that I want to get to the right side. So to not have to go through the interior, hopefully, I'm going to try and do a precise item slide right here against this pillar. And it's gonna clip
Sometimes
me.
it can be a bit trolly.
Yeah, exactly.
You need like a really slight angle to clip through. There we go.
There we go.
Nice. And
So now,
there.
So now when on this side right here, I'm gonna go into the knockback part of the barrier, and I'm gonna mash my Wind Waker, and I need to take out the Wind Waker on the same frame that my damage of an ability frame ends. So when I stop blinking red. And what that's going to happen is if I do that, because it's going to take damage on me every frame, then it's going to actually stop knocking me back until I actually take damage again or go out of it. The problem with this is that because you can only take out your Wind Waker every other frame, you can get uneven frames. Then right here, I hope this TV works, otherwise I do have a backup setup. I'm going to have to go up. I cannot see this. Enjoy my ass. All right.
Rich Dad can love it.
Let's Let's see if that works. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to do a backup setup.
Oh.
Not enough speed.
Speed. Yeah.
So yeah, so I try and get an extremely precise setup, and then I do an item slide to get in place here. And the reasoning for doing this, yeah, I'm gonna have to do the backup
So
angle.
I just want to say that when he's doing his item slide, Link is constantly pushing against that wall. Because when you press the left trigger, with the grappling hook, Link will get pushed to the left, and he's constantly pushing to the left.
That was good. Yeah. So basically, how this game calculates your positionings is that it always calculates with the Link's angle, positioning, and speed to an angle. However, it's gonna check if there's collision in between where it's calculating you should be and to where you're going. And if there is collision in between, then it's going to always stop you at the collision. However, there happens to be that this cylinder, it's basically built up by not a perfect circle, but like two invisible balls meeting up like this. And right where they meet up on an exact pixel, and if you have exactly the amount of speed to go through it in 1 frame or less, the game actually fails to check for collision. And normally, most of the time, if it only fails to check for collision, actually I need more magic. It only fails to check for collision if it's like a slope. That's why like clipping through FF1 walls and like clipping through, for example, Forest Haven was so easy. But that one is a completely straight wall. So it took months of hard work and dedication to find that. And yeah, and then after I do that, which is the biggest skip, it saves like over 2 hours. I'm now going to do trial skip. So I'm going to get up on this door frame. I'm going to take out a bomb, and then I'm going to grab it in between the bomb and the wall. I'm going to go towards the bomb, and it's going to push me away. But if you do that on the first or second frame, it's going to have enough force to push me through the wall. And there I can just leaf into the loading zone and skip all of the trials. And that's like a 10+ minute time save. And if you didn't have that, we couldn't do this route because we don't have the items to even beat the trials.
The game doesn't like you climbing and getting pushed by a bomb at the same time.
Yeah.
So it pushes you through the wall.
Exactly.
Another fun fact is like there's also even more crazy routes in this where you skip the bow completely, and you skip this section here. You'd like hover right into the door, up to the final stairway, and you'd skip up again and completely. But it's too ridiculous. Like no one's
It's
gonna do
task
it.
only.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right here, I'm not actually gonna have to defeat Phantom because the maze is always down, left, up, left, right, up. So if you just memorize that, you can go through it. Normally, I know a lot of like people when they play it the first time maybe just like kind of tried their way through. But how you normally should do it is you defeat, you actually like attack Phantom Ganon, and then his sword will be pointed towards the correct door. On this last one, I'm gonna take out a bomb, and it's just because normally you get scared and turn around towards the door.
Nice.
But if you have a bomb, then you don't get scared. Right there, when we said nice, that's because there's 3 things Phantom Ganon can do. He can give you a ground spawn and 2 mid-air spawns that will give you either a blue ball playing like tennis or a red ball. And if he does the ground spawn, it saves 8 seconds. So
He knew what kind of run you was on, so he gave it a good RNG. But if it's a good run, he'll just give you the troll one.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah, I was doing attempts, like a grind, I think for like, it's 15 hours in a day. And it was up to like 1 in, I think it was 8,000 chance of how many times I did not get a ground spawn. It was that ridiculous. So there's definitely times where he does not want to do it because he got the exact same pattern in midair like over 10 times. It was
just
crazy.
get good RNG, dude.
Yeah, it was easily like at least 12 times.
Yeah.
Easily.
And it was always the same midair one
Yeah.
too. So it was just like the odds of that was just so crazy.
That's cool.
All right. So you're going to see how broken Light Arrows is. And this is also why Barrier Skip saves so much time in 100%. One of the reasons. There's many, but one of them is the fact that Light Arrows one-shots all of them. And you can kind of see is like when I'm cruising through this room. I'm just going to item slide, shoot an arrow, item slide, shoot an arrow, get a double there, try and get a double here, and that's it.
So much faster than the GameCube version. You just slide up the stairs.
Yeah, movement is definitely like really quick in the HD version. And there. We're going to have a cutscene, so if you have any donations, this is a good time to read them again.
Rip Thief Bug.
Poor Thief Bug. Oh yeah, he's not even there. All right,
Wow.
sorry, Chad. I'm going to have to
Welcome
take
to the
over.
We have a quick donation from. Let's go, Linkus.
Good luck with the run, Ned.
Wow.
Blame Ned.
Yeah.
I'll join in.
Even if Fuzzy starts, like, what can I do?
He's back. Save us, Ricky. He's complaining. He should be reading donations.
Oh boy.
This is not my fault.
Sure, buddy.
No, we currently don't have any donations though.
Oh, that's so sad. So much effort.
Well,
Oh, if you say so.
I feel like he just doesn't want to read them. Just make,
Yeah.
All right. Well, if we're on donation, so what's coming up here is Papaganon. So Papaganon is definitely one of the harder bosses. It is incredibly difficult to actually kill him, actually defeat him well. And on top of that, there's some luck in it. So normally, as a casual, you would have a boomerang. You would cut his cord down, and so so basically his a little blue ball, which you can hit with light arrows, would stand still. However, we don't have the boomerang, and also even if you can cut it down with arrows, it's incredibly slow to actually get it down. So we're gonna have to try and aim while he's moving around. And also, you're gonna see that even though I just got light arrows, I have bow with all of the 3 elements, and I forgot to mention that. So the reasoning why we got the quiver upgrade earlier in the run is because if you get just light arrows, you have 0 arrows, but you have the elements in the bow. But if you get quiver upgrade, you will have 60 arrows. So that's only for usable arrows. Nice. That's one.
Ah, close.
Close.
It clipped the ball.
Nice.
Ooh.
Come on, you can get it. You can get it.
Oh,
Yes.
Very nice. That's the hard one.
Beautiful.
That only
Beautiful.
happens if you hit a string, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
if you hit the string. Because you can hit the ball and the string at the same time, because the string hitbox is bigger than the ball itself.
Yep.
To make it, I guess, like harder. That's beautiful. That's a 1 frame window when he's going up there to hit it as a backup.
Very nice.
All right. So on this part, there's also a small time saver you can do called Crip Shot. I'll try it, but it's very difficult. It's also frame perfect. So I'm gonna have to stand like in a specific position next to his ball. I'm gonna shoot, and then I'm gonna have to aim up left and.
Yes. Nice.
It saves a good amount of time.
Yeah, it saves a good amount of time, and the thing why it makes it so hard is because not only is it frame perfect, but there's no up left notch. So I literally just have to, by feeling, hold up left.
And you got good magic RNG.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
exactly.
RNG, dude.
Perfect.
So here I'm also gonna get hit quickly because I will need to take a lot of damage for a trick coming up later. Beautiful. All right.
So many pogs in chat.
Dude, poggers.
Poggers.
Poggers, dude. All
Those
right.
pack jumps, I think.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
The Swedish sniper is the boss.
Oh, the troll.
And RNG happened.
Yeah. And then orange eat.
Oh, because.
Monkeys?
Okay, nice. Nice.
Normally, you just basically take out a bomb and wait for him to go into you, and sometimes he does not really want to
Come
do
on.
that. Maybe
lag.
now I think
Yeah.
he's gonna wait. Where?
Oh,
It's
Nope.
actually one of
He's
the
not. He's not wanting to do it, dude. Oh my god, I'm so slow. Oh, I still got
Oh,
it. Okay.
God. Okay, nice.
That was really bad RNG, but that was an incredibly good fight. That was very, very good.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's one of the only instances where the Wii U version lags.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, explosions and particle effects. It has like those. It has a
Morphs.
very hard
Yeah. And
trouble with.
all the morphs
Yeah.
dropping down too, yeah.
But yeah, that was overall really good. So normally you actually just like hope that he goes for you straight away, and you just take out 2 bombs, because also not only does it take half a heart of damage because you want to take damage, but it was also very quick, of course. But that was still good. The quick spin is a bit scary because I saw I had 1 heart, so I could only get hit once maximum there. And because of how much speed he has, it's a very tight window to perform a quick spin and not get hit, because most of the time you will hit him and get hit at the same time. So you need to be like the furthest away as you can.
If you guys have ever played a Zelda game, you'd know how painful quick spins are.
Yeah, exactly. You need to spin the analog stick like about 1.5 times.
And press B at the right time.
And then, yeah, and press B. It's difficult.
Some quick time for some donations.
we have a $10 donation by Spooks saying good luck on the Ganon fight, Linkus. That one literally came in after the Ganon fight, though.
We still got another Ganon fight.
Got one more
Yeah,
game to fight.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Have you ever played this game?
All right.
Also, yeah, don't monk ass in the chat too much of my health. Like it's all in control. I promise.
Redemption? Question mark?
Redemption, yeah.
Redemption. Yeah,
team.
I believe.
GDQ.
We need to believe.
The main objective is to not go over the GDQ time.
Uh,
Because that's still then underestimated in my eyes.
You did door clip.
I did door
Yeah,
clip.
door
Door
clip,
clip was
yeah.
the
It
only
took like 5
they-
minutes.
The entire time loss was door clip. The rest of the run was really good actually.
Mhm.
Yep.
All right, so coming up right here is the last part. So I don't have a hook shot, and it would take over an hour to get the hook shot because you need to go to Wind Temple. So I want to do a zombie hover to get up. Now the problem is zombie hover requires you to be dead. Now there is a way around this. So you can bad morph. So you can go up to these morphs right here first off, and then you can try and line yourself up, slash the morph at the same time you step forward, and that's gonna make him to go and attach to you. And then after you have to roll and hope for good RNG so that the morph is actually going a direction where it's not falling off straight away. And then after that, I'm gonna actually try and blow him up here with a leaf. Now when I get him up here, I'm gonna have to do a glitch called the zombie hover, like I said. So I'm gonna basically take myself down to 0 health, and then I'm gonna have to be very quick on button mashing because it requires for this setup, it requires, I would say, at least 12 times per second mashing on the B, and I also need to time a very well precise A and B input to start the lift off. So
Also, moving the morph here, you need to like gently press the analog
Yeah.
stick, or else he'll fall off.
okay.
Alright, you can do this. Let's go.
So it's like the morph needs to be in the perfect position, you need to be in the perfect position, then you need to mash really well.
All right.
You can do this.
Wrong input.
Yeah.
No. I saw that would have the angle would have put me down. That would have not. That would have actually. The angle was not correct.
Okay.
I would have fallen off when I slashed the bomb because it puts you to the right.
This also has a really weird input to start the hover, because we used to just like drop a bomb next to you and wait. But you need to also shoot the morph within the bomb time, so you like drop the bomb and kill the morph at the same time, which is pretty tough.
Yeah. Thankfully, this morph was nice to me, and it
Yeah.
didn't. It's like a 50-50 what direction it goes to. Did it actually make it up? Okay.
No.
That was good. Otherwise, that would have been really slow to walk around. Did it go up? Yes. And it's also like RNG based if it goes up or not when you blow with the leaf. So with record pace, you can like sometimes just like blow it 5-6 times and it doesn't make it up, and it's like really frustrating.
He's also sidewalking, because sidewalking doesn't affect the morph at all.
Mhm.
All right, here we go.
Let's go. Come on.
Looks good.
Yeah, it looks good.
Very nice.
First try. All right,
GDQ redemption, baby.
GDQ redemption. Let's go.
Go.
Let's
Much
go.
better. Probably would have worked the first time as well. The morph was in a good
Monk-ass
position.
dude. Monk-ass dude. All right.
Just don't
now,
die to get him.
now we just can't. In case we died again, we have to redo that. So let's not do that.
Yeah.
Time for a quick one donation.
Yeah.
Oh,
Before-
yes.
before the
Just in time, we have a $100 donation.
Ooh.
Nice.
Dear Linkus, we love you for everything that you are and everything you have done for your community. Please never forget to take care of yourself sometimes, but more importantly, never stop smiling. Also, pasa, pasa, pasa. Mia.
Aw,
Oh,
Mia.
Mia. Is that Mia?
Much love.
Rip Link.
Yeah.
Bye bye, sword.
This is not how you treat kids. It's for discretion.
Don't take notes.
Yeah, don't take notes.
Oh god.
Please don't.
Please no bully.
No bully.
Is he dead?
Is he dead? Yeah, that's the run. Like we died. Sorry. Maybe he's still hanging in there.
Yeah.
That's the T-pose.
T-pose.
There's actually a glitch where you can make Ganon do the T-pose
Yeah.
in this
Yeah,
game. It's so
yeah.
funny.
So it's actually kind of funny. So there's always been a meme about like the laughters coming up later, which we're gonna get to soon. But there's one part that almost none of us actually realized until like Fuzzy came around and called it out. That we never realized that they actually always speak a bit of English right here, because like we never
Oh, the
thought
king?
about it. Yeah, the king right
So
now.
good.
Yeah, and now we like almost everyone like always does it, because now when it's pointed out, you think about it. So it's like it's gonna come up right here.
So good.
Will
You sit down. Hashem.
We all know it now by heart.
Yeah,
We just all know it now.
Hashimura.
We just thought it was mumbling like that, but in the beginning it actually says that. But alright, so, okay.
Alright.
For everybody in the chat and for everybody in the crowd, you can know. So coming up here are some beautiful laughs. Everybody in the chat, you can be ready for some lols. All of the subs, Linkus7, crowd, be ready. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Alright, good job. Good job, everybody.
Good voice.
Alright, guaranteed a spot in the ESA cringe compilation as well.
Feels
Speedrun
good, man.
failed.
Feels good, man.
Feels good, man.
You gotta be in there, man. It's important.
Haha. That's the emo, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
You didn't fail. You didn't fail.
Yeah,
it's fine.
good. Good. We Gucci chat. Alright, so we really don't want to dive. We only have 1 heart, so I'm gonna go safe, and so I'm gonna grapple Zelda. So it's kind of an Easter egg that they don't even mention really during the fight, and I don't even. Maybe it was in a like Nintendo magazine or something. A hint. I only found out about it like actually like a year ago or something. So if you're actually low in health and you ever fight this boss, what you can actually do is you equip your grappling hook. And then you want to simply just go up to Zelda, and you just want to grappling hook her, and she's going to give you 3 hearts. And you can do that an infinite amount of times.
She loves you so much, dude. She's lovely.
Nice.
Didn't soft lock.
Soft
It's
lock.
always the
There's a
phrase.
really small chance of a soft lock here, but we didn't this time. All right.
Feels bad, man.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, those extra swings are RNG, so it's definitely difficult. And on the Warbacker pace, this is one of the scariest bosses ever, because in the beginning, when you're really close to him, if you're really unlucky, you can get hit, and since you only have 1 heart, then you will die. So if you're unlucky, you can die in the end of this boss fight. And it's also, of course, if you get past it, really difficult to, like, do it with 1 heart and when you're nervous. But I'm gonna hit the timer here now.
Wait, just slam that button, dude.
Yeah,
Did you press
slam
it?
that button. Yeah, I'll press it.
Okay, sure.
All right.
Let's go.
And GG.
Nice, dude.
All right.
Much better.
What was the time?
120.
120?
Yeah.
That's not bad, considering the fact that I just, like, to show off the, like, literally last minute yesterday changed the route to the door clip route, and we lost, like, 5-10 minutes on door clip itself. That was overall a very good round. Like,
Really
that was incredible. Like, except for maybe, like, a minute on manual super sim. Overall, like, the fact that we got that island hop first try and everything, it was a very good round.
Getting door clip in a marathon's always nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Redemption for
Yeah,
me.
redemption for you.
Hey, you got to see it this time.
Yeah.
Ah.
But if you like just watch the game and you're like, oh, that's really cool. So I actually very recently, because I know obviously the manual super sim is very demanding for both your hands and to learn. I just released after actually the SGDQ, so like 2 weeks ago, it's completely up to date, a no manual super swim full speedrun tutorial for this game. So if you want to pick up the game, then you can check it out on my channel over at YouTube, and you can also check out my Twitch channel, because I do almost daily attempts of this game and Ocarina of Time and other Zelda games at Linkus7. But yeah, and if you have any questions, you want to pick up the game, you also have, of course, a Discord, and also with the Wind Waker related, also very recently we released, I'm sure you all seen the randomizer hype. We just recently announced that Wind Waker had a randomizer release with logic and everything. And there is, from the developers, a brand new beta build that is going to be actually announced and first showcased right on my channel when I get home from ESA. So if you guys are interested in like randomizers and updates on that, I definitely have some exciting news coming up for that as well. But yeah, that's enough selling out for me. So, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for having me, ESA. And yeah, it was a good run. Hope you enjoyed.
Yay.
Linkus, I know your schedule's packed, but do we have time for one more donation?
Of course.
We have another $100 donation saying, hey Linkus, thank you so much for always looking out for me and doing whatever you do to make others smile. Good luck on the rest of the run. Pasa, 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 miachu.
Was that also for Mia?
Yep.
Dang,
That's
Mia.
awesome. Dang,
Thank you,
Mia.
Mia.
So, yo, can we get some
Yeah.
claps? That's $200.
She deserves it.
That's
she deserves
awesome.
It. Definitely.
Huge shout outs to Mia. She's awesome. Love you, Mia. All right, but thank you guys for watching. I will see you all for the next run.
Enjoy
Here
the
you
rest of
go.
the ESA, guys.
Nice.
No.
No.